Imagine you are filthy rich in the 1700s. You have a big house, servants everywhere, gold in your pockets, and just living that fancy life. But what's going to kill you? It's not a bad business deal. It's not a fight or a duel. It's tomatoes and your own fancy dinner plate. Let me explain. Tomatoes came to Europe from the Americas around the 1500s. They are shiny, juicy, bright red, and they look a little weird as a fruit. People got very scared. They called it the poison apple, the devil's fruit, the mad apple, the wolf peach, all kinds of names. Everyone was convinced this bright red thing was deadly poison. The rich people especially wouldn't touch it. They avoided tomatoes like the plague. The rich people ate on these beautiful pewter plates. Pewter plates back then were loaded with lead to make it softer and shinier. Lead is just slow poison. These plates looked expensive and felt heavy. They were a total status symbol. The thing is, those pewter plates had a ton of lead in them, and tomatoes are very acidic. Remember that sharp tangy taste you love when you bite one? When you put tomatoes on pewter, the acid reacts with the metal. The acid slowly pulls the lead out of the plate and mixes it right into your sauce, your salad, your mouth. You eat it once or twice, that's fine, but over time, lead builds up in your body. It sneaks into your blood and then it gets into your brain. Your brain has these tiny connections called neurons. They are like little soldiers passing messages super fast. These connections shape how you think clearly, how you feel happy, and how you stay focused. Lead messes those soldiers up badly, so your brain starts glitching. You get confusion, gut pain, a tiredness that never ends, and sometimes dread of death. It's a slow, indivisible killer. It's more interesting. Rich people eat a fancy meal, feel sick later, and drop dead. Everyone blames the tomato. They say, see, poison apple. I told you so. Meanwhile, the poor people's story is different. They ate up simple wood balls or cheap clay plates. There is no lead in those, so no poison leaches into their food. They said, screw it, let's eat these things. Tomatoes became regular poor people's food. They became survival food. By the 1700s, the rich were still terrified and still getting mysteriously sick, while normal people were cooking with tomatoes like experts. It gets more interesting. There were no fridges back then. There was no money for fancy storage. So the poor would slice the tomatoes, add lots of salt, and spread them out in the hot sun to dry. That hot sun pulls out all the water and packs the flavor super tight. The tart taste turns mega sweet. It becomes almost like candy. The dried tomatoes are super light to carry. They last for months and they are easy to hide. They are perfect for crossing borders too. You stop some dried tomatoes in your bag, sneak past the guards, and sell them for good money. The tomato went from this will murder you to underground flavor gold. So the tomato did not kill the rich. Their own nice pewter plates did. The poor accidentally won because they could not afford the fancy pewter plates. No pewter means no lead, means they lived. One little red fruit flipped everything. Class difference, simple chemistry, and brains full of lead. Would you have tried this if you were rich in the 1700s?